Mr Speaker.
The bill is set down for first reading forthwith. The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, I move that the New Zealand Flag Referendums Amendment Bill be now read at the first time. Mr Speaker, I want to begin my contribution to this particular bill this afternoon by congratulating the Labor Party for the first time in 7 years in getting out of Sleepy Hollow and actually doing something that looked a little bit interesting this afternoon. And might I say, sir, it's no surprise to me that when there are some people who would normally be calling the shots around these matters are not available, that the Labor opposition, left in the hands of the Honourable Trevor Mallard, the old Tusker himself, manages to pull one out of the bag and almost get what they were after, Mr Speaker. Returning now to the bill. This is a bill introduced to the House by the government, but significantly constructed by Gareth Hughes and a team from the Green Party. They, sir, have recognised that a large number of New Zealanders would like to have the fifth option on the referendum panel that asks people to put a preference from one end to the other, or one down to five now, for a flag should there be a vote in favour of a change. The government considers, sir, that that is not an unreasonable position, but we do, sir, want to express our huge confidence in the design panel who were put together for the consideration of the flag. That panel has been in some places criticised, and not least of those criticisms has been that there was no designer on the panel. Well, sir, it was not a group of designers who put up the hundreds and hundreds of options that could have been considered. It was largely ordinary New Zealanders who have a patriotic view of their country and a view along those lines, wanting, I should say, a view along those lines expressed on the flag. The panel behaved in, I think, a thoroughly professional manner and undertook a very good public consultation process. And they remember, sir, were faced with 10,000 different flag options. 10,000 different flag options expressed by various New Zealanders. So it was a challenging job for that panel to do as the law required of them, to whittle that number down to some 4 options. And one of the things they did was ask public opinion about the 40 options that they thought might be of interest to New Zealanders. And it is worth noting that the Red Peak came in 37th out of those 40. That being said, sir, there has been considerable activity, and on a matter like this, you would expect New Zealanders to become a little bit passionate, and so we have an option today to put another flag in it. Well, Mr Speaker, the opposition are waving bits of paper around in anticipation that it might be that particular flag that's included. Perhaps they should just have a little bit of a sleep overnight and see what comes of it in the next day or so. But Mr Speaker, I think accepting the way that we're moving forward and completing the aspects of the bill, that is the first reading, the second reading, the committee stages and the third reading, all in one day so that instruction can be given to the people responsible for the referendum is the appropriate thing to do. Mr Speaker, I want to tell the House, sir, that by doing this we don't affect the planned referendum dates. The preferential voting system does not change, and the approach to regulating the referendum advertising, etc., is also unchanged. And Mr Speaker, I think it will be interesting to see how New Zealanders react to this over the next couple of days. Changing a flag should create reaction, but it shouldn't create the sort of descriptions that we're getting across the other side of the House from people who actually are violently opposed to this approach now, but actually went into the 2014 election saying that if they had been in government, same position that we are in today, they would have been promoting a change to the New Zealand flag. The one thing this House can be certain of, and all New Zealanders can be certain of, is that had they been government, Labor would have changed the flag, and not one New Zealander would have had a say in that, other than those members of their government. So, Mr Speaker, what we are seeing over the other side is crocodile tears, the wringing of hands at the disappointment at not being able to do this, and now, after a 30-second read of the bill, all sorts of claims that it won't do what it set out to do. Well, sir, I think this is not. It's not it doesn't every day happen that a member can come to the House and propose a bill, have that bill defeated by a lead motion, and then have the government pick it up, particularly when that member is a member of an opposition party. So I think it is a day that I'm sure Gareth Hughes will remember for a very long time. It does indicate that where there is a good idea put forward, then the government is not closed to listening to that idea. The biggest surprise to us is that the Labor Party didn't think of doing something like this. That the Labor Party had no wit, it would seem, to be able to come up with something that the Green Party have done this afternoon. And so what we're seeing really is a lot of bitterness, and we'll hear it over the next few hours, from a party that has been totally snookered by a smaller party in this House, but a smaller party that is increasingly listening to the voices of New Zealanders and representing their aspirations. So while Mr Robertson over there says it's just politics, I take him at his word, and I know that deep down inside, past the politics, he really does want to see a change to the flag, and most definitely wants to see the process to it. And now we've got the contest between Mr Robertson and Ms Ardern, a contest that apparently isn't on because Ms Ardern's way out in front on this one, yelling across the best option they've got, Mrs King. And Mr Speaker, I think we're going to see that little scenario play out over the next couple of days as well. So, Mr Speaker, this is a bill that reflects the fact that New Zealanders who have spoken have been listened to. It is a tribute to the ability of our government to work with other parties to ensure that where there is a fair case that should be dealt with, we are prepared to move in that direction. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call Andrew Little.
Thank you.